Hey everyone, it is Kai from WCC, and we're going to do another tier list today, because we can literally do a tier list every single month. There's new releases every single month for paper, for standard, for premium, and then we haven't done much zero stuff, but you know, we can do one for zero as well. Every month, new set, more tier lists. Tier lists are never going to end. You're never going to escape tier lists. So we're going to do one for the current global meta set 6, it should be. And before we get started, let's talk about something really cool that's happening soon. September 6th, another WCC tournament. This time it is a team tournament for Zero. Not that many team tournaments around. I guess there's some leagues, and I know that in Japan, team tournaments are pretty popular, but on global, this is going to be a one-day team tournament, so find your friends and make a team. If you don't have friends, then try and find other team members. And you know, if you don't play MLB, that's fine. You need to play different clans, so if you don't have a meta deck, people will still need you. It's not all just about MLB. So find a team and just have some fun on the day, alright? So let's get back to the tier list, let's get started. And oh yeah, check the description below for the details. And I guess, yeah, like and subscribe and all that, yeah. So cool. Back to the tier list. There was a lot of decks / clans here. I don't exactly know how they split it, but basically covers everything that we need to know. Thanks to Otaku Prouder, I think, for creating this list. Yeah, we're gonna borrow a bit and talk about Vanguard 0. So going first, we have Great Nature. We got Leopold here. I don't see a Locks or anything like that, so we got Leopold. But Great Nature overall. Great Nature overall. Right now it is set 6. Not really many good cards for Great Nature in my opinion. It's clearly lacking something that they will get in set 7. With Polaris having that extra aggressive push. They have Harmscays. Harmscays are nice, but the animal orchestra that they get, you know, the chicken, the violin that they get next, that really has really nice sacrifice targets that will really kind of push this deck all the way probably up to A, not S, but A. So yeah, let's wait for that. Right now, it's just not very good. Risers, I'm gonna put either an A or B. Risers are like MLB Light. Slightly less consistent than MLB, but very easy to get, and still you have that crit pressure, so it's definitely really still a force to be reckoned with, and it's got some nice support recently. But right now I'm going to put it in a B. I'm going to put it in a B. I might change this a lot. Dark Irregulars. Reiji is currently the best build for Dark Irregulars. Kind of a nice gimmick deck when you face a Limit Break clan. You can just kind of sit on Reiji with 3 crits and just kind of cuck them out of the entire game and make them run out of resource and then just one-shot them for the kill. I did play a lot of Reiji because this is the first deck I got when I started my JP account. I got like 7 chariots. So I was like, yeah, let's play some Reijis. But overall, it lacks some really strong. You need to get to that 15 soul count, which can be hard sometimes, and you need to make sure you don't get rushed out of the game really quickly. The other disadvantage that Dark is your mass soul charging, so you're less consistent that way. You're soul charging away your null guards, soul charging away your triggers. So overall, Dark Irregulars is kind of a B. It's got a nice one-shot gimmick, but overall, you know, it's kind of weak defensively, and you just kind of you can lose the game really quickly without any of the great options that you have in high tier decks. Indra, I'm going to put it either in C or D. I'm going to put it in C, because Indra himself is not amazing, but if you do pull it, I guess, and if you do pull multiples of Indra, you can make an Indra deck. But this, although Indra is not amazing, it is clearly supported by a lot of other cards in Narukami as a whole, right? You got Jins, great grade 3, 14k beta. You got, you know, Death Scythe, Retire, you know, to get those aggression in. And you still got the anti-interceptors, like the Desert Gunners and all that, so overall, the support makes Indra not a D, but it's still not great. So it can sit in C for now. Dementia Police? Dementia Police is currently in C, I think. It's just, okay, it's got crit pressure, but overall, you know, hand count and all that. Although it is a crit Vanguard, yes, but to make it work, you need a lot going for it compared to other crit clans or crit decks. And right now, it's just not in a very good place. It's currently in C. Again, support coming for this in the next set 7. Which is probably going to push it up to A or B. Coco. So there's a lot of OTT variants. One variant is definitely better than the other variants, and it's not Coco. Coco, nice draw. You still have access to Silent Tom. But overall, it's just it lacks the nice offensive push that Tsukuyomi spoiler can give you. Having knowledge of what's at the bottom of the deck, able to manipulate it like that. I know some builds of Tsukuyomi was for Coco, I mean, was playing cards that go back into the deck, so they'll draw quickly, draw their deck as quick as possible, and then try to compress their deck by putting in triggers. So that seems pretty interesting, but overall, not much showing for it, I think. I'm going to put it at B for now. Arbros Dragon, probably the better version of all these Neo clans we have here. As a free deck, it's okay, but Neo Nectar in general is just pretty crap in my opinion. Arbros at least gives some power lines and is slightly more consistent than the other variants. So I'm going to put it at B for now. Shadow Paladin. So Shadow Paladin, I'm going to put it at A. Shadow Paladin is still a very good clan. Very good clan. Draws, decently consistent. Got Cross Ride, and has that buffed Persona Blast crit pressure that always seems to be real. And also the Counter Blast 2 retire is very amazing too. So it stays at A. It's one of the big three, but in my opinion, there's only the big one, and that is MLB. the Dode and PBO can kind of sit in the same tier as a lot of good, but not the top tier clans. Luquia, Pale Moon, super buffed. Luquia is an amazing card. Especially with Dreamy Fortress, right? Great defensive options. It also can play very aggressively as well. With I think people play like Crimson build, but with Dreamy Fortress you can absolutely cut a lot of decks, right? You set up your soul, pop that Dreamy Fortress out. A lot of other decks just can't compete because you're getting extra turns just because they can't get rid of the Dreamy Fortress. And yeah, that's how you win. You can kind of get denied in resources because Luquia is a CB2. It's also a very slow grind deck. If you play this like Luquia in ranked, you could probably play like 2 Luquia games versus like 3 MLB games. So slower deck for rank in a tournament though, where that's not really the matter. It's definitely a great pick for your team. So Luquia in A is about right. Cucutus. Granblue. Overall, Granblue is very disappointing. I think it's like one of the worst clans at the moment. Not really, like, its gimmick is I can get grade 2s from the bin, which a lot of decks can do already. So, don't spend money on this. Don't spend money refreshing your stamina to build this deck. There are way better free clans out there, like the next one we're going to talk about, like Spike Brothers. This is a tier, this is like a high tier clan. Spike Brothers is actually scary. Like, the first iteration of Spike Brothers, it was probably like a B, right? You saw some nice Spike Brothers enthusiasts playing it like Proof, doing really well, but it was like a B. But with Dudley Emperor and the amount of aggression you can do with this deck now, it is like a definite A tier in my opinion. If you're a free player, then yes, spend your stamina getting this, because it's also going to get more support later. I think it's also going to be one of the newest, the first clans getting the next wave of Break Ride support, which will probably push this, again, at least retain its position here or push it up even higher. So right now, Spike Brothers is a really good tier A deck. Ezel as well, lots of Ezel variants. You got crits, you got Stan Pelinors and all that, you got Crifts. All of them are just pretty decent because Ezel itself got buffed so hard, it's just an amazing card. Counterblast 1 to just filter your deck and compress is actually insane. So Ezel, a tier A, no matter what variant you play at the moment, in my opinion, is a tier A build. Tsukuyomi as well, I'm going to put it up above the Cocos, just because, yes, having the confirmation of what you have at the bottom of the deck, plus Silent Toms and all that, is just like the extra edge that kind of makes it slightly better than everything else. It still has the win condition, although, like, comparing OTT overall compared to the other clans, I will put this more on the lower side, although I don't really rank these, but there's a lot of great clans out there as well currently that can, you know, rush you pretty hard. Blouse. So Blouse is still kind of scary. It's a great budget deck. If I'm gonna put Blouse at B, because it's still scary, like it got weaker because there are cross rides, and cross rides kind of make Blouse life a bit hard. If I'm putting it at B though, I probably have to put Riser a bit higher. I still think Riser is better than Blouse, and yeah, you can definitely get some super wombo combo games with Blouse. And if you're a free player, yeah, go for it. You hardly need any high rarity cards for Blouse. So great budget deck that performs really well. A definite B tier in my opinion. We've got MLB. I don't really think we need to talk much about MLB. Tier 1 got nerfed, right? Wingle Brave got nerfed, but you know, the new grade 3 Searcher is still decent. You're able to high roll basically half your games anyway. You got Ganslot, grade 3 Searcher searches for Ganslot, which is a Blaster Blade. Put heals back in the deck. I don't know, super consistent, super fast. At a tournament, you know, still beats all these crit Vanguard. You can crit pressure out limit break decks. Is just absolutely amazing deck. Not much else needs to be said about it. If people claim there are less players of MLB currently, but I find that absolutely different. I think you see more MLBs now because all the VP farmers have left, and everyone who wants to try hard realized that MLB is just the best try hard deck to try hard with. So you actually do face quite a lot of MLB still, even with a lot of these other great clans that got released. Dote is a clear tier A deck. I actually rank the big three as MLB is like greater than PBO, and then PBO is greater than Dote. I personally don't really like Dote much in Vanguard 0. I know a lot of people love Dote just because, you know, you've got the retires, you've got the restands, and you've got just great draw. But overall, I personally don't really like Dote because compared to the other two big three cards, it doesn't have the crit pressure as you would expect unless you have a unless you ride on it stricken, right? Don't get me wrong though, it is still very strong. I would put it like somewhere here, but I would rank PBO slightly just better than it. Maiden, like, don't a lot of Neo clans just kind of play with each other anyway, but if we're talking strictly about Maidens, then it goes to D. It's not very good, dude. Narukami, so of a million build. So I'm gonna definitely put this in S. Okay, it's top tier. People might disagree with me, but overall, if I was to go try hard at the ladder right now, I'm either picking MLB or Narukami. If I was to go to a tournament and it's like a 3-deck tournament, I would pick MLB and Narukami for sure. Narukami is just great. It's got the retire. It's got the anti-intercept cards that just make it amazing. I know some people have trouble playing Narukami. They can't see its power. Play the Allen build. All right, play the build that Allen played with when he won the championship. After I played that build, everything just made sense. You play hyper aggressive, make 2 columns every turn to deal 2 damage, push the 2 damage every turn pretty much. The grade 1 that gains power when you retire is just insane, and Vermilion itself is insane as well. Not many decks, like if you push to 5 early, if your opponent either has to keep you out of limit break state, because once you get into limit break state, you're able to just put 3 attacks on the Vanguard regardless of how many intercepts you have, because Vermilion is just that good. So overall, I do rank Narukami one of the highest out of like the whole tier list currently. We've got Battle Sisters. So I like Battle Sisters. They look really cool, but that's pretty much it. Overall, it's the same issue as Coco. You know, Tsukuyomi has that edge that makes it slightly better than everyone else. This deck draws cards. It has a nice gimmick where it becomes fat, but you know, against smart players, it's not going to do much. So it goes into like a B. Death Armies, not really much seen from them. 13Ks, nice buff, but far from that, you know, it can make some decent attacks, but overall, kind of clunky deck. It does get crit pressure though, which is nice, but you know, it's easier to get Rise's crit pressure compared to just like getting the high roll. Like, it's easier to high roll with Riser than getting lucky with Death Army, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put it in B for now. Bermuda Triangle overall is just not very good. Currently in C, it's getting support next set with Coral, which makes it either like a B tier deck or an A tier deck, able to with that like fast superior. But right now, you're basically paying a lot of money to crack triple R's for Bermuda Triangle and not getting much from it. So it goes to C. Angel Feather, I think it's C. I don't rate it high. I know a lot of people say it's a great counter to MLB, but I kind of disagree. Sure, maybe it's good against some decks, but you know, against other decks, it's gonna get absolutely ruffle stomped. It runs damage increase, so you can't actually damage like Cuck, or at least like stop Angel Feather from ever getting limit break. But apart from that, overall, it still doesn't do much in my opinion. It can filter pretty well though with Sham Shield, so I'll give it that. But right now, I feel like it's either in C or a low B. Alright, Cecilia, I like Cecilia, she looks very nice. That's about it. Overall, same Neo Nectar problems. I just put it in C. Like, Musketeers, although are cool, Not as cool yet. They'll get cooler later, but right now, not that cool. And then lastly, we've got the Spectral Variants. I think this is the Gold Paladin one. This one looks like the hands, and this one's the shadows. So, Gold Spectral Variant, I put an A. Now, the reason why is just Ezel's good. Spectral is good. But it still has kind of the, like, when you compare it to Ezel, right? Ezel has the problem where he gets 3 attacks. Spectral has the same thing, but it depends what you're running with it, right? If you're running the Ride Chain Spectral, then you have the problem where it can be slightly inconsistent, and if you don't get the Ride Chain off, your deck is kind of just weak, but at least you run Ezel, which is fine. But overall, like, Spectral Variant with Gold, I think is just tier, like, 1. Less consistent than the top tier decks. Very scary though, but yeah, less consistent. And we've got the Shadow Spectral build, which I think is better than the Gold one, because you have the best parts of the Shadow stuff. So you have like the domains, you have the PBO, which just makes it really nice, and you still have the Spectral Restand, which is also pretty good too. But again, slightly less consistent than the tier A, and against Spectral overall against Crossstrides does suffer a bit because it's like 11k. Sure, you can run the Pegasus that gives it like plus 2k, but then it becomes like a 2-card combo kind of thing, and you can't always get it off. So yeah, that's basically what I think with the Spectral Variants. They're kind of an A, strong. A lot of people run like 9 crits of them, which is fun. You know, you can do a little crit, do a lot of damage, but overall, it's just slightly less consistent than the top tier decks. So it goes in the A section. If I wanted to rank it, this is around correct. MLB and Narukami is around the same. PBO, Dote, I'll push up Dote. Luquia kind of the same. Yeah, this kind of goes here probably. This goes here, and I think that's pretty much. I think the bottom decks, the bottom 3 decks in tier A is these 3, and then in the 6 decks here, you can kind of interchange them with whatever, with your preference, and then the rest you kind of just don't care. All right, yeah, B, nice gimmick decks, and then C and D just don't even bother. So that's it from me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think of this 0 tier list, and if you agree or disagree, and like and subscribe, you know, like and subscribe if you like the content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, you know, Vanguard 0 Team Tournament, check it out in the description. See you guys, bye.